one day, I got very blessed as my career developed that I got to meet some of my business heroes. And I started wondering, these people that have achieved the success in their careers and lives that everybody else wants, I thought this, what are they doing that everybody else isn't? Because they must be doing something different or they wouldn't be where they are and everybody else wanting to get there. So I started intentionally studying the habits of successful people with this question: what are the things they're doing that I'm not? Um, and so one of the answers to that question turned out to be that they are processing a much broader cross section of the world. I'll explain that, than I was, than everybody else is. So let me explain what that means. Let's say your startup is healthcare. So what do you do all day? You do healthcare. That's what you spend all your time. What kind of problems are you trying to solve? Gee, healthcare problems is what you're trying to solve because that's what industry you're in. You don't really care what's going on in banking or retail or anything. But what I noticed about these people is that they take a minute, they take time every day intentionally, they schedule time to go see what the rest of the world is doing, to see, I'm going to use the wrong word, to see if they can steal any of their ideas. And I don't mean steal in a bad way. I just mean if someone has a brilliant method for doing something, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. Maybe that's a good way to do it, right? It's not stealing to look at the way, LeBron James shoots a jump shot or the way Michael Jordan did and say, I want to do it like that. So that's what I mean by stealing. I mean emulating their practices. So what I did was I developed this technique called info sponging, and just made up the word, where I said to myself, I noticed that these people take that time to look what every other industry is doing and see if they can be, this is the key, the first person in their industry to bring a great idea that some other industry created into your industry. So info sponging is this. Every morning I start the day and I take you only need 10 or 15 minutes of the day. Before you start your day, for 15 minutes, let's say, Josh, you don't work for healthcare and you don't work for your company. For 15 minutes a day, your assignment is to learn one new thing a day that you don't even need to know. So every day I go and I leave my industry and my company, and whatever catches my attention, it's all about curiosity. I pick one thing that I'm going to learn today that I don't even know why I know it, why I'm learning it. And so what I do is I collect data points about, again, what the rest of the world is doing out there. And I do that so that I can try to find ideas that have never been brought into my industry and be the first one to bring them. So I'm going to summarize this so I can finish the day with a story that I read one day that really crystallized for me why you do this. And the story was, way back when, it was in the Midwest, it was in Ohio, it was a burger joint, a chain. They were building cheeseburger restaurants and they weren't growing. And the owner said, we got to innovate. We got to lead the industry. We got to be the winners. What can we do? And his team did what I just said everyone else did. If you're in healthcare, you stare at the healthcare industry. They went inside and he said, find an innovation. And they looked at the French fry machine and they said, we can't make French fries any faster because the grease, if you heat up the grease anymore, it ruins the potato. They said, we can't fill the Diet Cokes any faster because they'll splatter. So they said, we have no ideas, because they were staring at their industry. But one of the guys, this is a true story, Josh, got in a car and he said, I'm going to go visit some banks. And they're like, banks? Banks don't serve cheeseburgers and French fries. Who cares what they're doing? He said, I just want to see if they might have a good idea in their industry. And they shook their head and said, have fun wasting your day. So he drove around, and in the first 3 banks, he learned nothing. But at the 4th bank he went to, there was pickup trucks in the parking lot. There was piles of wood. There was carpenters and hammers and nails. And he said, what are y'all doing out here in the parking lot? And they said, oh, our bank had a really cool idea. We're about to create it. And he said, what's your new idea? And they said, we came up with a brand new idea. When we finish building it, we're going to call it a drive-through window. And this guy said, holy crap. And he jumped in his car and he zoomed back to his hamburger restaurant. And thus was born the first, again, a true story, the first drive-through window in fast food history did not come from any fast food vendor. It came from a guy who saw it at a bank, went back and said, let's do it here and have a drive-through window for cheeseburgers like the bank is doing. And the cool ending of the story is Ray Kroc heard about it. and said, that's innovative. We need that at McDonald's. He bought this company, and the drive-through window at McDonald's came from that acquisition. And now every fast food place has a drive-through window that came from somebody looking to see if banks had good ideas. That's why you do info sponging.
Thank you for joining this episode of The CEO Show. Please subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss upcoming episodes where I will do my level best to help you unlock greater success and freedom. And share this video. You and everything you do makes a difference.